Welcome to Notebook, a program of interest to the St. Lucie County community that features information about St. Lucie County schools. Guests include school district and community leaders with focus on children in our community.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Notebook, and we are so glad that you're here to join us for this very special edition. And today we have a very special guest with us, a good friend and an amazing colleague. We have Miss Korissa Diaz with us, who serves as the Outreach and Recruitment Specialist for St. Lucie Public Schools. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I love it when you're here because there's always great information, and especially new information that a lot of people in the community may not be aware of, especially those just moving into St. Lucie County. So this is a great opportunity for us to share what's happening in the magnet schools this year, and especially for this coming fall.
Yes.
So big things coming. So we want to share about that during the show today. So as anybody who ever watches the show knows that I always like for the guests to share a little bit about themselves and just talk to us a little bit about how you came to this role. You know, when did you get started here in St. Lucie County, and so on. So share with us a little bit about that.
So I am first going to say that I'm proud to be a St. Lucie Public Schools graduate. Go Jags. And then I've actually been working in St. Lucie Public Schools for about 12 years, most of those years spent as a school counselor. About a year ago, I was interested in applying for the MSAP position, which is the Magnet Schools Assistant Program grant. And now I've since then been the Outreach and Recruitment Specialist for this grant, so that the school board was awarded a grant to build magnet programs at 3 of our existing schools, and I'm helping to get the word out to the community about that.
Great.
Yep.
So it's a very unique position, one that has never been held, and you have just taken it and ran with it and just done amazing things. Talk to us a little bit about what this role actually entails and some of the things that you oversee.
Sure. So the role was specifically created for the grant. It's afforded me the opportunity to help create 3 site-based recruitment teams at the schools that were part of the grant, which we'll discuss, I guess, a little bit in a few minutes. But these teams attend and coordinate information nights. They attend community events to make sure that the word gets out. And they really raise awareness about all the great things happening at their school. So as the Outreach and Recruitment Specialist, I kind of run between these site-based teams, our district support level teams, and make sure that everybody in the community is aware of what's going on.
And the other thing, we want to be sure that we mention this too, is that you as personally attend a lot of events and really have become the ambassador for these 3 magnet schools. So talk to us a little bit about that. Sometimes I know we joke about being politicians, but you really are out there a lot. So talk a little bit about that.
So Jane and I attend a lot of events. The St. Lucie County Fair, the Safety Fest, the local farmers markets. We've been to the tradition events that they have. A lot of times they have events like the pumpkin patch and the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
And we've done those to raise awareness, basically to let anybody in the county know that regardless of where they live, these are not zone schools. These are magnet schools with magnet seats that are open to anybody in our district. So that's why we attend all over the county to ensure that everyone is aware of these opportunities for St. Lucie Public School families.
And something to also mention about that is, knowing that it is available to anybody regardless of where you live. Transportation is also provided.
That's right.
So that's a huge plus for families that really are interested in these particular themes or unique programs that that's available to them. So so let's talk about the 3 specific schools and really what makes each of them unique.
All right. So this is really especially for families that are new to St. Lucie Public Schools. I know that a lot of families have heard us speaking of magnet schools, but these are 3 theme-based schools. And when I say theme-based, what I mean is that, for instance, Creative Arts Academy of St. Lucie, which you'll hear us call CAST, is an art school, and they have arts focused. They have black box theater. They have visual arts, performing arts behind the scenes, like the production team that's here today working. They're teaching those types of things. They're teaching about lighting. Every aspect of the arts that you can think of are offered to students at these schools, as well as the opportunity to work in a makerspace, which is that 21st century opportunity to go in and create and learn at a deeper level about the content that they're learning. And then our core content teachers, it's funny, I go and talk to students about these schools, and immediately when I start talking about them, they think, oh, that's all I get to do all day? And I'm like, no, you've got to learn, English, math,
Still have
science,
those
and
English,
social
math, and
studies
science,
too.
yep.
And but the really interesting part about CAST and the other two schools that I'll speak of in just a moment, the theme, so the art, is integrated into every core curriculum and a content area on that campus. So you really feel like you're walking onto an arts campus when you walk onto that school. So then another one, that's a K through 8 school, kindergarten through 8th grade. They're accepting seats at all grade levels at the moment. And the other school, the Samuel Gaines Academy of Emerging Technologies, is our STEM school that is K-8. And this school has the technology, the engineering, the science, and the math. And they really, for instance, this year they had a Minecraft education project. So when I say Minecraft to students, their eyes go,
oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But the really interesting part about Minecraft is that teachers were utilizing it in their design challenge class, but pulling in English, math, science, and social studies, and creating a Minecraft world or a museum that other students could tour. And that was how they were deepening that knowledge. And that was a 9 weeks project. And they were getting a grade off of it in all of their core content areas and their STEM design challenge class. And I also would like to point out that kids are learning to code and program starting in kindergarten through the Lego Education Coding Express. We have a great partnership with them and Microsoft to provide these students great opportunities. So also, and moving on to one more, we also have a now STEAM high school that combines both of the concepts that I just spoke about, but at the high school level. So you've got the arts, you've got the STEM, and they come together beautifully to afford students the opportunity to have everything they want, because it is a comprehensive high school. So think, football, soccer, cheerleading, all of that, but then also add this STEM and arts focus that they can have, making it a STEAM high school. So I would like to, also share that there's an innovative fab lab that includes a CNC router like they use at Boeing. There's the Cambridge ACE program, Vet Assistant, Agri-technology. I know we're going to talk a little bit about this, but I just wanted to give you an idea that these 3 schools are just a cut above. They're really just great opportunities for families in St. Lucie Public Schools.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we always get to talk about is just besides the uniqueness of the programs, is just how it is just this grant has really transformed these schools from the inside out. And it's amazing, when we get a chance to go and spend time there, just feeling the difference in the culture of the schools and the enthusiasm of not just the students, but the enthusiasm of the teachers. It's fun to watch. It really is. So one of the things that we always talk about is just as we get ready to go into the summer already, is how often kindergarten parents often wait to enroll their students. A lot of times we talk with Michelle a lot in student assignment, just that, a lot of families don't really think about registering for the fall until they get to summer, when really this is the time to be doing it now. So we definitely want to ensure that kindergarten parents, especially those, again, we're talking to people who might be new to the area, how would they go about applying for CAST and Sam Gaines right now?
So we have a really simple application online. It takes no longer than 10 to 15 minutes. If you go to stlucieschools.org, on the left-hand side of the page, there is a little button that you can click, essentially, that says Find Out More. It's under the MSAP magnet. You'll see a little link on the left-hand side of the main page. And this will redirect you to an area where you can, first of all, explore all 3 schools. Go to their websites, check them out, look at them have a little bit of a deeper perspective on them. But before you go that far, there's a nice little application button at the bottom of each of the little information areas that you can click on. It takes you directly to the application, and like I said, simple 15-minute application. Get your information in there. Any questions that you have, you can email me directly at korissa.diaz@stlucieschools.org, or you can contact Student Assignment.
Very good. And CAST and Sam Gaines both went into full implementation last fall. So their programs have been up and running, where Westwood Academy was a planning year for us. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Westwood here in a minute. But what are some of the major successes that come to mind since this implementation from August until now?
So we had a really beautiful, I guess is what you would call it, partnership with Microsoft and Lego Education, and they worked with us to create what we called Makerspace. You've heard me say it a few times already, but we did a Makerspace launch. So we got the community excited about what was happening at these schools by inviting them in and letting them see what these Makerspaces were. Because a lot of people, when you say that, they don't know. So we wanted community members, like the mayor of Fort Pierce came out. We had commissioners and county, lots of important people come and visit CAST and Sam Gaines to check these maker spaces out. And these kids were building robots, coding, showing them Minecraft education projects. It was just a huge success. I heard so many people say, "I wish I was in school again."
Yeah.
That was a huge success. CAST had an arts week where they invited the public in, and actually I was able to take my twin boys, and they're 5, and we went and got to watch their show, one of the dance shows. And all week long during this week, it was just a couple weeks ago, they showcased their programs that they have at CAST, and it was very well attended, lots of great reviews, and it was an opportunity for kids to really showcase what they've worked on all year. So that was a huge success. Sam Gaines also did a stop in STEM that they're going to continue to do throughout what they've continued to do throughout the school year, where every student on campus, every teacher on campus stops, takes an hour, and does something that's STEM focused, whether it's science, technology, engineering, or math. All of them, every student in the school is afforded the opportunity to do something with STEM. And there's just so much excitement and engagement at these two schools. It's really like nothing that I've ever seen.
Yeah, so true. And one of the things that, I always hear parents say, well, I hear about it, but how can I get a chance to see it? So is there a way for families and students to actually tour the schools to see it for themselves?
That's a great question, and I'm glad that you asked, because yes, all 3 schools are offering parent tours. These are small tours, maybe 10 to 12 families that are able to walk through the school and see these makerspaces, see the Fab Lab, see the classrooms that their students are going into, see the black box theater. So yes, if they contact the school directly, they can get on a list and then go and tour the school. Most of the schools are offering at least one more tour this school year. And then if they have any curiosity over the summer, they can email me, and I will make sure to get that taken care of for them so that they can tour these amazing schools.
So we've talked a lot about CAST and Sam Gaines because those have been, already up and running with magnet students already in place. And now we're getting ready for the official open of Westwood Academy. Many people know it as Fort Pierce Westwood High School, but there's been a little tweak as a requirement of the grant. So talk to us a little bit about what's happening there and the new name.
So I'll lead off with Fort Pierce Westwood Academy, the West Prep Magnet. West stands for Westwood Engineering Science and Technology Magnet, is the name of Westwood now. And yes, it sounds long, but when you have such an amazing school doing such amazing things, it really deserved a nice strong title. And we wanted to keep the history of Fort Pierce Westwood in the name and tag on the fact that it is now a STEAM magnet high school with lots of opportunities.
So there are a lot of new programs that have been implemented that some of our viewers may not be aware of. Some strong programs that have already been in place, like the Veterinary Assistance Program, the Agricultural Program. Those are 2 that I know a lot of people are familiar with. But talk to us a little bit about some of these exclusive programs that students entering high school can't get anywhere else.
Absolutely. So the grant has afforded Westwood the opportunity to add pharmacy tech, robotics, Project Lead the Way, which is coding, programming, computer science, health unit coordinator, exercise science, and the grant also did fund the ones that you just mentioned, a little bit of a revamp on those already existing programs. Something to take away from this is the programs that I just listed all can end in industry certifications, meaning students can get a career started right out of high school with these certifications along with their high school diploma, which is really something that is giving these kids an opportunity like they wouldn't have really anywhere else. So for instance, pharmacy tech, a student can finish this program in 4 years through high school, get their high school diploma, their pharmacy tech certification, and go to work for a pharmacy immediately after high school. They also have the opportunity to finish that program and have a step up on anybody else entering pharmacist school, right? So they can go to school and become a pharmacist that way too. And really the beauty of all of these programs is that there's a career and technical education side of it where they can go right to work, or there's a college side of it where they can go into college with a step above or a step ahead of everyone else because they've been exposed to it in high school.
Right, and we've been working very closely with the CTE department, which is Career Technical Education, through the district, and just hearing constantly how many students are passing these exams at Westwood, it's just, it's mind-boggling and so exciting to see, and they're doing exceptionally well. And I remember, was it last week? I think we were there, and a couple of the culinary students had just passed their safeguard test,
Safe Serve
test, yeah. And I mean, that puts them ahead of people because every single restaurant, I remember Chef talking about that, every single restaurant is required to have somebody on site at all times that has a Safe Serve certification, which puts those students ahead of anyone else.
Absolutely.
So just these opportunities that are being afforded to the students there is just, it's so amazing. So the other thing that I think you touched on just very briefly a little bit earlier was the Cambridge ACE program. So it's a little different at the K-8s as it is compared to the high school level. The high school program is a little bit more intense, and with your guidance counselor background, you can speak to this very, very well. So talk a little bit about what the ACE program means for these schools.
So I will speak specifically to the high school component first, because like you said, I do have a little bit of a better grasp.
It comes in handy often.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Cambridge offers college level curriculum on a high school campus. So we've heard of AP, we've heard of IB, a lot of people have heard of those, but ACE is Cambridge University, designated, has that designation of Cambridge University, which is world renowned. Everybody in, our country and the world really knows what Cambridge is for the most part. And they have a comprehensive test at the end that could afford them, or would award them, college credit if passed, which is recognized at universities all over this country and really all over the world. So that's a huge deal. And I don't think parents sometimes fully understand that opportunity. And not only if say they take 1 or 2 classes and they get that extra close to high school level, or college level curriculum, that's fantastic. If they finish an ACE diploma, they are awarded along with their high school diploma, they're awarded the Bright Future Scholarship without any question. No test scores have to be met for SAT or ACT. They're given a Bright Future Scholarship if they complete their ACE diploma. And I think that's very important for families to know. And Westwood Academy, the West Prep Magnet, will be able to offer students a full Cambridge ACE diploma if they follow the curriculum path that's mapped out for them. So at the elementary and middle school level, it's a little bit different, right? So it's still really high level curriculum. And essentially what it's meant to do is to deepen understanding at an elementary and middle school level so that when they go into high school, they're prepared to take college level courses. So whether it be ACE, which of course we'd highly recommend, even if they went into dual enrollment, they're better prepared because they've been exposed to high level curriculum at the elementary level.
Right. And really, in looking at a lot of the curriculum, their program is a lot about the instructional strategies and kind of that uniqueness of thought, and really using those critical thinking skills and thinking a little differently, which was always, I remember going through the general paper class, and it was just so engaging for the students, but that higher level order thinking and the level of rigor was really amazing to watch. And you could tell how much more the students enjoyed those classes versus, maybe some of their other regular classes, which is something to be said. So something else that the grant has actually allowed the district to implement are other instructional positions. So I'm going to skip up to a couple of our, because I'm watching the time too. So, but there are new positions that are really unique to these 3 magnet schools, and something that we have never had available at any of the schools thus far. But talk to us a little bit about the STEAM advocates. These are really unique to the 3 magnets.
You're right. So the grant, through the grant, we were able to add STEAM advocate positions, and essentially they are the purveyors of grant implementation. They're on site at these 3 schools, and they're a team of 5 at Westwood Academy, 4 at Samuel Gaines Academy, and then 2 at Cast. And these are they really are the purveyors of grant implementation. They work to provide teacher support of theme-based instruction, as well as being the liaison between teachers, administrators, and us as the district staff. So they are really the cheerleaders, champions, and agents of change for these schools.
I always love that. That's even on your email too, or both of our emails actually, because it really is meant to be cheerleaders for these students and cheerleaders for these programs. And we get a chance to watch every day, the difference that these programs are making for students. And again, the STEAM advocates have really taken on that role of instructional leaders. And, it's been interesting to even watch them grow as education professionals, and even, reflecting on their own instruction, which has been interesting to watch. So as part of the grant, we want to make sure, especially because Westwood Academy, the West Prep Magnet, is opening this fall. So we want to ensure that people understand that there are still seats available for this fall. Can you mention again just the process that they would need to go through if they're interested in having their students be a part of these really innovative programs that are going in?
My first suggestion would be to look on our stlucieschools.org website to check out the websites potentially of each school, as well as get to the application. And again, I kind of explained that earlier. It's on the left-hand side of the screen. Make sure you click the Find Out More button, and you'll be taken and directed to the application. Also keep in mind that throughout the next school year, so if you're a little late to the party this school year, if you want to wait, if you're deciding to wait, there's going to be open houses, STEM nights, information nights, arts nights. We'll be at the Farmers Market. We'll be at Friday Fest. We'll be at the Indian River Lagoon Science Festival, and so much more, for an opportunity to hear more about what these programs have to offer. We will be out there and available to answer questions, and I can easily be reached through email if you have any other questions. And I would encourage you to go take a parent tour if you're super interested in any of these programs.
And some of the places that families may also see are on various social media, means. So share with us, just to kind of keep an eye out for various places. So what would those be?
Okay, so we're on all the things. St. Lucie Schools, Public Schools is on all the things. They're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they're on, I don't know, Twitter, Facebook. I'm trying to think of
YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yes, YouTube, of course, WLX TV.
Yeah.
There's so much information out there. Just, make sure you follow at 1SLPS at Twitter. I believe it's something very similar for Facebook. Make sure you follow this YouTube channel for WLX TV and St. Lucie Public Schools. They push out amazing information all the time, including lots of great information about our magnet schools.
And then as far as available seats, talk to us about the grades available for each one of the schools.
Sure. So it's simple for Cast because it is kindergarten. They are accepting seats in kindergarten through 8th grade. I will tell you it's very limited at this point for the 1920 school year. And Gaines is doing a little bit of a different implementation in terms of rolling in the magnet seats. Currently, it is a kindergarten through 8th grade school. There'll be seats available in kindergarten 1st, 6th, and 7th for the 1920 school year, and it goes on and up from there, meaning that for the 2021 school year, kindergarten 1 and 2 seats, and all of the middle grades will have seats available. In terms for Westwood Academy, at this moment, there are limited seats available in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Right. But again, those are limited for this upcoming school year, and I can provide anybody with more information if they want it.
And the other thing we also want to mention is as we expand the programs at each of the schools, I know CAST is just finishing a building project that will extend multiple classrooms and in need of teachers. So one of the things that we want to make sure that we share about is an upcoming teacher recruitment fair, teaching hiring fair, I don't know what you want to call it, but we really want to encourage our viewers, if you know someone who is looking to become a part of the dynamic team of educators in St. Lucie County, and especially as part of these 3 magnet schools, there's actually a teacher fair on June the 7th from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. It's on a Friday morning, and it is for Creative Arts Academy, Sam Gaines Academy of Emerging Technologies, and then Westwood Academy, the West Prep Magnet, and I believe there's a couple of other schools that are going to be joining us as well. But we want to be sure to let the viewers know that there are positions that are available. They are very limited, and if you are at all interested, you want to sign up online and join us for the June 7th teacher fair. So we want to make sure we get that out there. So thanks so much for being on the show and talking about these amazing programs. It's truly, truly a joy to work with you every day, and you've just done a phenomenal job of making a difference in this county with everything that you do, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
So she really is an amazing cheerleader, and she's a champion. She really is.
As are you.
Thanks. It's great to work with you. So we just want to thank you for being with us today. If you have questions about any of the magnet schools, again, you can visit stlucieschools.org online, or you can reach Korissa at Korissa.Diaz at stlucieschools.org, and she is one of those people. She will get back with you within 24 hours. She's really good. So we just want to invite you to stay tuned and keep an eye out for the amazing things that are happening through the magnet schools in St. Lucie Public Schools, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.